Capricorns, this is going to be a look at the next 72 hours for you. Any information that you may be looking for will be listed in the description if you want a reading. And make sure you like and follow so you never miss a beat. Okay. So the first card is going to represent just the overall energy for this time frame. And we have the Five of Swords, which represents the win or lose way. So this talks about having a spirit of I'll win at all costs, meaning I won't back down. I won't allow circumstances around me basically take me off of my pivot. And for a lot of you, maybe you did have certain people psych you out mentally, or certain circumstances psych you out mentally, where it made you lose sight of what you are in control of and what you're not in control of. But this time frame, you could be in a space to where you're realizing like you can't bow to bad circumstances, or you can't lay down and just kind of get down. You really have no choice, especially when it comes to your personal goals. Now, another thing I'm seeing with the win or lose, there could be arguments where there's this need to be right, and this could be tearing out a relationship. Try not to entertain arguments where there's this like need to just prove a point of like I'm right and you're wrong, which is not the point of disagreements at all. Disagreements, or quote unquote moments of talking things out, because we don't want to call them arguments, it's supposed to get to a point of understanding, or that's supposed to be the objective. When it starts to become I'm right, you're wrong, and that's the objective of this conversation, that isn't a conversation that's conducive at all, in any degree. Okay. Also, when it comes to just being mindful too, there could be someone who knows how to say the right things to make things seem one way when it's not. So make sure you're being mindful of like trickery someone's doing with their words, or their actions don't line up with what they say, and falling for it. Now, going into the advice card, I have the Empress. So the Empress talks about growth. It talks about expansion. It talks about taking things to the next level. So the advice is to go where growth is. Even if it's uncomfortable, who cares? Our human biology is afraid of uncomfortability. When you realize that, you can hack your biology and say, I'm going to go towards the things that are scary anyways. And I don't really care about me being quote unquote uncomfortable feeling. Eventually, I will grow into comfortability of being uncomfortable doing the things that will help me expand and grow. Also, with the Empress card, this is talk about nurturing self, doing self-care. I don't mean this in like a superficial sense where it's going to get your nails done, eating cheesecake. I mean in the sense of doing the self-work where we're being just raw and naked with ourselves and honest about things that we have to work on within our shadow self, and addressing those aspects of ourselves and not running from it. And also being loyal to self, keeping promises to self, having boundaries with self, understanding how to have a relationship with self and what that looks like, the proper way to have that. Okay. Now, going into what to watch out for, I do have the Two of Pentacles. So you do want to watch out for, pretty much keeping a level of balance in your life, understanding that life has an ebb and flow to it. There's always going to be high points in life and low points in life. When we're prepared and we have that understanding and we're rooted in reality, we can better prepare ourselves to handle those situations or those moments where we're not as affected. So an example of this is financial preparedness, where financially you're preparing for rainy days. You're putting money to the side for those days where maybe financially you didn't make as much with the business, or you don't have as much. Now you can go into your savings and you'll be okay. Versus not preparing for highs and lows, expecting things to just stay one way forever, which is unrealistic and not rooted in reality, and being shocked when it happens. We want to be prepared. Preparedness is the key to success. But going into the challenge for this time frame, with the Ace of Pentacles, the challenge could be time management. It could be maybe wanting more resources to be able to pay for certain things. This could also be you wanting just more stability around certain areas in your life, a stable relationship, a stable job, something substantial is coming from. And for some of you, you're willing to start something new in your life in order to create that stability. It's just either A, you don't have the plan mapped out quite yet, or there's certain adjustments you may have to make in order to welcome this new thing in your life. And that could be a bit of the challenge. Now, the message from your spirit guides with the Three of Pentacles, it's important that you seek out people who are supportive. Seek out people who are doing the same thing that you're doing so that you don't feel like you're alone in your journey of what you're trying to complete or what you're trying to get done. Also, this is making sure that you're constantly showing up and doing the work, irregardless of whether or not there's some days that things are slow or some days that you're questioning yourself. Show up anyways. Show up in a way where you're not, making any excuses. Because all you can do is just show up with your best efforts. Yeah, be mindful of also certain coworkers who could be very energetically messy or off. Now, last card, this is going to represent the outcome for this time frame. I have the Five of Pentacles, or not Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands. So there could be a certain individual outside of you or certain people where maybe their energy is dramatic. Their energy is conflicting. Take care of yourself and recognize where certain battles are not for you. There are other people's battles to handle. Let them handle it on their own. Also, if there's a relationship where there's conflicting people or there's other people affecting it, family, friends, third parties, ask yourself if you can continue to deal with this drama. Okay, you may have multiple ideas also that are springing up. It's important that you're delegating what you can handle right now and not trying to have your hands in so many different baskets at once. Now, the cards I have, so we have sadness and isolation and believe and succeed. So the message here is, for some of you, you could be feeling sad because you are spending too much time by yourself. You do need to come out of your shell. You need to go out and put yourself out in the world or connect with people who at least bring you good energy, because we don't want to get out of isolation or self-isolation and then go around people who are not positive. But yes, it's time for you to get out of your own shell or out of your own energy. This could be what's making you feel a lot more like stressed out or within your own energy too much. It's important that you're also believing in what you're working towards. Believing that you're doing your best. And eventually, if you keep up your best efforts, you will succeed. But this is what I see. I hope that this was helpful and to give you insight. And I will talk to you in the next one.